Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2 Awakening, where I'm having to adjust strategy a little bit here. I thought that we were going to be able to make multiple obelisks concurrently, and so I was planning all around resource acquisition being the bottleneck, the time bottleneck for us, but unfortunately, turns out not to be the case. So I've retooled the plan just a little bit here. As you can see, I've managed to get the build time on the obelisk down to 4 turns. I did that by reassigning Koros Apogee to be the governor of this system. He is not quite the governor giving the largest amount of flat industry, but he is giving quite a bit of industry, and also he'll get a ton of XP when this obelisk completes, and we can level him up toward his larger industry bonus, which hopefully we will be able to use to push the 3rd obelisk. The governor who is most capable of putting out industry is actually Burra Tech Seeker. And we're going to leave Burra Tech Seeker right here on Nakos, because we want him working on the 2nd pillar. If we reassigned him to Nos now, the reassignment cooldown before we'd be able to move him somewhere else is like 9 turns, or 8 turns rather. And so this would finish, and then we'd have 4 turns of working on the obelisk without him. I think it's better we just have Koros work on Nos. As soon as this is done, we can move him. Well, I mean, he's on cooldown, but, as soon as this is done, we'll start building the one on Nakos. Burra Tech Seeker will be there through the entirety of that, and then somebody can jump back over to Maz, hopefully Korok, but I guess it'll depend on exactly how long this all takes. But I think this is the way that we want to do this. We've also hit the essence cap. Oh, sorry, the other thing I did was I redesigned the arcs a little bit. We went out of our way to get Almost Serve 3, so I went ahead and rebuilt the arcs with all of this extra industry, and then paid the, frankly, pretty steep cost of retrofitting Estasivora with all of the new modules. We have not done that to the others, although apparently it's going to be quite cheap here. I guess Estasivora must have been an older arc or something, because it was over 10k to do it there. Well, sure, I see no reason not to do that immediately then. And then we're going to want to do it on Maz as well, which, yeah, similarly cheap. Nakos must have been retrofitted more recently. Okay, well, that's under control. The hard part of that's done. So with that, I guess let's just keep moving on. You guys don't really need to do anything here. So yeah, it's once this is done, we'll have a better idea of exactly how much time we're looking at. Once we can see how long it's going to take Nakos to complete the thing. Once this finishes, in addition to everything else we're talking about, we're going to see the other players are going to see a notification indicating to them that we are approaching completion of the game. So we might see the hostility ramp up a little bit. There's not really a lot we could do about it, just be ready to fight. In the systems where we are not building anything super important, we could build some more ships, but honestly, we might have enough ships already. You're just, I guess, dramatically increase the speed of her fleet for response in case the bad thing happens. Phaeton should probably just embed a sleeper, and then we should start a new hack over there. And yeah, they are aggressively reducing our number of sleepers absolutely everywhere. Constant sleeper patrol. But it's fine. It gives us something to do to them. They're paying a cost to rid themselves of all those sleepers. And we don't really have anything that we need to spend this essence on anymore. Do we have... Yeah, we have population space here. This is a thing that is worth putting essence into. Give me some more resources. We probably want to hold off on spending dust until we have a better idea of what our resource levels are going to look like once we're at the time that we're ready to start the construction on the 3rd obelisk. So I guess in a lot of places we're just sitting for the moment. All of the ships that are in guard mode are asking me for orders. We really, really don't need a combat fleet here. Oh, except that the academy is still kind of being a problem for us. Yeah, I guess we'll hang out and we'll put that fleet away, and then maybe we'll move these guys over to Nos just to be ready for the Cravers, because they have threatened us a number of times. We have the resources, I think, to push them off, if we really need to push them off. In theory, it should not be a big issue. Alright, we just finished building a thing. do we want to spend some time constructing that thing? What was the tech we just finished? Oh, this is just super light. Never mind. Ships even faster. Alright, we've lost 20 approval on all of our systems. Over here on Maz, we need to build something. Though, I don't know what, really. I guess just money? I don't know that it really helps us to build anything else. People are dealing with the photobomber and the pirates and stuff. I don't care about any of this. The game is going to be over before any of that could possibly matter. Go ahead and throw in another holy proliferation there. I feel like I was going to do something this turn, and now I don't remember what it was. Well, whatever. It can't be too terribly important. I think we have things under control here. We could start...
I can't believe I'm saying this, but
absolutely not. We could start stockpiling luxury resources to do more system developments, but we don't really need to. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not being silly. It is just 3 obelisks, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's just keep marching here. Keep watching the numbers ascend. Why is Kraz glowing? Oh, it has one of these. I don't care about that. I don't care about these tiny baby curiosities. Alright, heroes are gaining levels. I mean, sure. Minus 20% upkeep on your system, why not? Kuros Apogee has leveled up, and he's going to level up again, hopefully several times. Because what we really want is for him to make it to endless consumption. I think the odds of that are basically 0, but that would be very, very powerful if it were to happen. So we'll take, like, the happiness stuff, I guess?
I can't believe I'm saying.
We should make sure we're maintaining our happiness here. Systems are mostly pretty happy. Kraz, for some reason, is really, really not. What's going on here? Just planets. Just the planets are bad. These are bad planets is the problem. And there's not really a ton we can do about it. We have all of the approval buildings built here. We can move a governor in. That's the thing we could buy. We could... What's the cheapest governor right now? Yo, they are expensive. Because having a hero here will increase the approval level by 15%, right? I guess just give me some low tier... You know what? Fazal Staccato is not really needed. Godel's not really needed where he is. Wow, that fixed it right there. Okay. Plus 40 from the Saints and Sinners bill, plus... Jeez. Problem solved. Did the system he came from go straight to hell or anything? No, everything's fine. Okay, cool. Well, let us just push forward. Gemini doesn't really need to build anything, but can build that, and so I guess it will. We're very productive. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if everybody freaks out on us upon completion of this first obelisk. It's also going to make Nos an incredibly powerful system, so obviously we don't really want to build any ships that cost strategic resources, right? That's definitely going to hamper our defenses. Seems like the, yeah, the dudes are not actually attacking us. So I think I am going to have these guys take off and go over to the Craver front just in case. The Academy is sending ships through our systems, but is not actually attacking our systems. Alright, Atlas was hacked, embed a sleeper, keep pumping up Fazal Staccato's abilities, and unfortunately they're already purging our sleepers from everywhere, which is very annoying. No hacking operation passes through this node that you're going to. Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying.
Still no. Cross Apogee got 2 level ups, which is not quite as many as we need. He needs another 2 levels before he can take endless consumption, so he's just not going to get there. That's a shame. May as well grab phased cloths here. It is, of course, going to take 1 turn, as will everything that we ever build in this system ever again, because the obelisk has given us some very impressive numbers. I'll just turn all that into dust, I guess. And so this turn, Nakos should begin construction on Oh, what do you call it? They cost more. Successively, they cost more. So we need 188. Which means we really, really don't want to be spending strategics, generally speaking. And we have to gain 25, which is not even a big cost. Okay, 10 turns on this obelisk. Not entirely ideal. Well, we should probably build... I don't want to build expensive buildings that cost resources, but we should build expensive buildings here just to feed XP to Koros Apogee. He's actually really close to another level. We might be able to make it happen, maybe. And his assignment cooldown is up in 4 turns, so we'll bounce him back over to Maz once he's ready. And then in a lot of places, it's just like generate money and hope. We'd build ourselves a luxuries lottery, just give ourselves a little bit of insurance against unhappiness here. Apparently we just picked up a collapsing star, so even more influence. Unfortunately, we just don't have any laws that really help us with the stuff we're doing. Yeah, we have pretty poor laws for building. Decent laws for fighting. Not really a lot of laws for building, though. Alright, 10 turns, and then everybody will get another notification that we're close to winning the game. That will be their moment, like the last moment where they could possibly act and still have it matter. You know what, after we complete this, maybe we should build a juggernaut? Do we have the tech for that? No, we do not quite have the tech for another juggernaut. Are we close? We might be. That's really not the button I wanted. We need two behemoth technologies. Well, we're getting one. Where's another cheap one? Where's a low tier one that we haven't researched yet? Yes, exactly. That's perfect. If I move this over to here, those both get done this turn, and then we can start construction on the behemoth. I'm just trying to... things that we can complete to feed Koros Apogee enough XP to get his levels. You may as well, I guess, grab this, right? Like, approval is the only thing he can take that matters at all. Because we don't have any... don't have any skills there that affect anything, any governor skills that affect anything at all, except for approval. Sure, plus 25% fleet health. Seems alright.
Feel free to anger us.
Okay, if I must accept this, I will, but I will not forget it. What on earth is he talking about? I also will not ally with you out of the blue. Okay, and then they allied with the Riftborn. They asked me, and I took too long to answer, so they went to the Riftborn. Makes sense. You guys can just sit there. We don't need to fight that Academy ship. We're okay. Ooh, our population booster ended. That is unacceptable. So what is our population right now? 57? This is actually pretty important. And we're going to have to run it at least one more time before the end of the game. Okay. So, 9 turns. We could be building arcs and stuff. We could, like, just burning essence. I don't know that we really need to. I suppose it doesn't hurt, except that the combat arc design that we have does spend a lot of strategics that we can't actually afford to spend. But we could run it down to just basics, and then from there, do the thing. Okay, Koros got his level up, so actually, endless consumption is going to be huge, plus 200% resource output on undepleted planets. We will deplete our planets pretty quickly. So let's talk about depletion, because we haven't had to yet. Still not interested. It's not actually showing it yet. It might show it next turn. What's his assignment cooldown? 2 turns? Okay. So yeah, we'll get a chance to have a look at it here. May as well build a hazardous mining facility. We should definitely do that on Maz as well. We don't need to do anything else here. Yeah, that'll be a reasonable amount of industry here. Okay, people are allying up all over the place. What would it be to buy one of these out? 158k? Okay, so completely unreasonable. Would it be... It would be 2 turns to build it. The question is, do I think it would take more time off of the obelisk than we put onto it? It is only 1 additional turn, like we finish it in 8 turns without or 9 turns with. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in there. I bet we will end up... I bet it will take more than a turn off of the obelisk, because there are 2 planets here with strategic resources. But then when you look at like the total influence output of this, or industry output of this system, and compare it to these numbers, I mean, we're going to be getting a bunch of modifiers, right? Part of the reason that this is at 3.2% is because like we have percentage modifiers from beam counter and percentage modifiers from the arc modules. But I don't know. Let's try it. We'll see. Somebody placed a pirate mark on Maz, which is unlikely to matter very much. We can pull this fleet back to Maz, just in case. I don't know exactly what kind of ships we're going to be seeing from the pirates at this point in the game, but there's no way they are the equal of this fleet. And then we may as well go to the War Arc, pull all of the strategic resources out of it. I guess this doesn't have to be the same design, but there's... I don't know that there's a lot of benefit in making it a separate design either. I don't think it really matters. So we're going to go... Gun. I'm actually going to pull everything out of all of the slots that have resource costs on them. This is going to be a pretty weak version of the combat arc, but it doesn't really have to be very good. It's just something that we're building because we don't want to let our resources sit completely... Oh, geez. We really have 13 base move? Primony. Okay, well, okay, there's already an enhancer equipped, so, like, what do we want to put in this support module over here? Could use a decloaker, I suppose? Doesn't really seem all that relevant. Yeah, honestly, none of this stuff does. I think it is just an engine. Oh, that's right. We already have 2 engines. I was like, that's a little too fast for... Okay, so if we use 1 engine, we're at 10, and then we could, like... I guess have an anti-cloaker. That's worth having. And maybe, yeah, it is just another engine, I think. Okay. Really fast, War Arc. I mean, they have a lot of health. They don't cost us anything, effectively, which is a pretty big deal. So like a system that's not doing anything, like Heka, can just drop one of these. Every time we get to the top of our essence chain, we can just drop one of those. And we're going to do that a lot, right? I am not, in fact, blockading you in any way. There's a war declaration. But we did get our combat fleet in place here. And this is the one with the large ships and everything. And we can have this this war arc from Heka arrive pretty quickly. Hopefully it won't be a big issue. Nos can start building a military behemoth as well. Yep, and so that'll give Koros Apogee a bunch more XP right before he's able to move over. That should be fine. I think we'll be okay. Out of curiosity, just because sometimes the AI declares war on you and then immediately decides it wishes it wasn't at war with you. Let's have a look. I think that issue is related to you being in an alliance. Okay. So they're not like 100% devoted to the war. It would be real bad to lose Nos, obviously, but also I'm not that concerned about... I don't know that it's that realistic. We'll have to see what they come at us with, but we haven't actually seen a warship from these guys in quite some time. We might want to run a hack directly from Nos to Pegasus, actually, next time we have a hack open. Like right now. And just freeze their ships. Right, since that's a thing we can do. I believe we cannot hack Pegasus from Pegasus. Unfortunately, but we can do that. Nos was compromised, that's fine. Nos has 1 million approval, so we'll just run domestic surveillance and it will have no negative effect whatsoever. You can Shoot, as a ship commander at this moment, you can... Or a fleet commander. I don't know, mantle projection, I guess? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Just a buff for her own ship. Oh, how about this? How about additional points of movement for her fleet? Because it's not fast enough. And we're being attacked at Ebony. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna...
Be brief.
Sure.
You are hard to tolerate.
Oh, that's 239. I was looking at that. I was like, 23,000 dust. Okay, no big deal. That is annoying. Okay, that event has come to an end. A new event has begun. Whatever. I don't care about that. We have the Juggernaut blueprints, so we could Juggernaut up our military behemoth over here. It would cost us a little bit of strategic, but we would be able to then merge it into the fleets and use it for defense way more effectively. Don't care about this. Don't care about that. There's like literally no detriment at all to us getting hit by bureaucratic imbroglios at this point. They cannot affect us in any meaningful way. So here I guess we just retreat, right? We're not going to win this. Oh yeah, Ebony, there really isn't an escape route available, is there? So what they're actually trying to do here is disrupt our mining facility. Okay, well, we don't have to let this be a big deal. This arc might be just coming over here to resettle. Not entirely ideal. Like, obviously, losing that arc is pretty annoying because that arc has some mining upgrades, but I don't know that there's no way it survives. So I guess we just want to go short. Where do I think they're going to put their large ship? Because there's some chance that if our arc is not directly up against their large, then we can just survive. We certainly won't kill them, but we might be able to survive the battle. And obviously, if we do survive the battle, then everything's good. It's just a question of where I think they're going to run the Bastion. We've seen them play it in the top quadrant, or in the top flotilla a bunch. I think I'm going to do this. And then there's no sense watching. You know, whatever happens, happens here. Okay. They did destroy the Ark. That's fine. So then we kill them. Like, completely trivially. What an annoying thing for them to do. After not attacking over and over and over again, they just decide that this is the moment. Okay. Apparently that's a separate fleet there. How annoying. Okay, and then we can reclaim this arc. 150 dust plus a retrofit. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Yes, restore the arc that has been destroyed at this node. Is that a problem? Zooming in, like it wants me to interact, like select the arc somehow, but I can't. Okay, it would cost 46,000 dust, that's why. So we're right on the border of being able to afford it. Well, the good news is we can just sell all of this, no problem. There we go. Okay. So if the pirates show up at Maz, that's going to be really annoying. We could just buy off the pirate mark. It's not even that expensive. Fine, here's your ransom. Okay. It's weird that there's a symbol indicating the pirate mark has been canceled. Fortunately, none of that actually affects the plan. So we would have to buy 2 more techs. We already have our thing here. We can very easily just... My plan here is obviously to just run up and grab the top tier of the top tier of the military stuff, and then Wealth of the Endless. We're gonna have to grab 1 more tech from over here as well, but I don't know if there's anything that really matters. I guess Emergency Labor Policy is an upgrade over the thing we're doing now to produce dust. I don't know how much that's gonna actually end up doing anything, though. It may well be the case that by the time we have access to that endless tech, the game's over. I don't know how much more research time. So 7 turns. I think that ended up being time neutral. No, we spent... I think we burned a turn. We spent time and didn't get anything back for it. Okay. Kill that guy. He definitely should not still be there. And then the other arc can re-anchor. And I think that was a recovery in the sense that we get all the buildings back. What is taking so long here? There is absolutely no reason for this to not be instantly resolved. It's a single scout ship. Okay. There we go. Is that the case? Yes, it keeps all of its constructions. Okay, cool. It does lose whatever it was doing that was partially done, which is annoying, but not really any worse than annoying. And then, yeah, Mexic Quarter. Okay. Boros Apogee has picked up Beam Counter as well. So we should be seeing 8 points of depletion per turn on those planets, but a massive output gain on those planets. And I don't know for sure that it works from an arc. It kind of seemed like it... Okay, no, they are in fact depleting. So you can see 8 depletion points per turn will actually burn a planet out really quickly. When a planet is depleted, as you might imagine, it produces far fewer points of resources in general, but also the massive output boost here only affects undepleted planets. So we don't want to move him back. My point is, we don't want to move him back to Maz until it's actually time, because I don't want him to burn out Maz's planets. Burra Tech Seeker can just kind of take whatever... Alright, hopefully that gives you some idea how they could, how a player could disrupt the Vadyani thing. You can break up the arcs, and you don't have to let them actually put stuff back together, obviously. It would be very difficult for the Academy of All Forces to stop me at this point. But it is at least theoretically a thing that could happen. Yeah, just print dust, I guess, for the moment. So 7 turns on the thing on Nakos. Buying out time on an obelisk is possible, but is somewhat unrealistic. It really is an awful lot of dust. If you built the Trade Clearing Bureau and you had good trading companies going, you might be able to accelerate a turn or two off of each of your obelisks, which would matter, right? Like, that's a big deal. Alright, so then we need to grab 3 technologies from up here. I do like the Ion Wave ability. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe make that... Actually, make that like a very high priority. Okay, so in 10 turns we'll have access to Wealth of the Endless, which will then take several turns to research as well. I suspect that it will not actually finish in time for it to help Maz at all. Okay, Mech Suit Quarter in 6 turns. Not really a thing that we could probably accelerate very much, but I think we're going to have more than enough strategics in 6 turns to push for the final project here. Well, we're only going to be at 65 Orichalcics, so maybe that won't be enough, right? Because the cost increase was 20 of the rare resources from the first obelisk to the second. Maybe we should go raid Mayal again? It's probably a good idea. Let's do that. We'll merge you guys up. We'll go hit Mayal nice and hard. So we hack to Atlas, which I think is just an embed sleeper kind of thing. We still haven't seen any actual warships from the Cravers. Okay, there was an Academy fleet there, no big surprise. We do have to take this a little bit seriously. So, War Arc 2 is a short-range vessel. War Arc 1 is also a short-range vessel. Never mind. I think this makes some amount of sense. We should probably actually have these in separated fleets like that. And then the gouges. Yeah, the gouges want to be at medium. Okay, I like this. we shouldn't need to watch this one. This should go in a pretty straightforward way. We totally could lose some ships here, though. The firepower of this fleet is not as great as the fleet that was all larges. Nope, turns out the arcs absorbed pretty much all of the damage. So then we come down here and give them a good hunt. And what are we able to get? Okay, that's almost a turn worth of Cal 6 production. And then I think we can just bounce back to Ebony. We don't need to wait here. That helps a little bit. Hard to know exactly how much it's going to matter. Okay, rising galactic inflation is annoying, but that's really all it is. Maz may as well create me another one of these cheapo war arcs, since we have the essence to do so. Just big, heavy warships that are a huge pain in the ass to get through, right? That's all we really need. They don't need to be good killers, they just need to be good at stopping other people from getting kills. And this one can just hang out around Maz. So if we get any pirates or any cravers coming down through Perseus or anything, we at least have something to stop them from blowing up the arc at Maz. I will say, I'm not super happy with our Empire shape from a defensive ability standpoint. Like, it's tough to hold on to. We have way too many like little holes in our defenses. I guess Mantle Projection? She doesn't really have any skills left that will improve her fleet effectiveness for a little while. Bella, we could start pursuing system development again. Whatever. Give me one of those, one of these. I think we can probably afford to spend 5 titanium. And then printing? Actually, we just have the resources for level 4 modernization. The thing is, there's just so little reason to do it at this point. And what if we want to sell those resources? So we'll keep on depleting the planets in the Nos system in exchange for money until we get this finished. 3 turns. And then we'll bounce Koros Apogee back to Maz, and that should actually build pretty quickly. Alright, secondment abilities are ending soon. Could not actually matter any less. It would be very, very difficult. I mean, sure, another 100 industry beyond that. And then, I don't know, yeah, mining speed seems fine. Mining speed is good. Maybe, actually, Miners Union goes above all this other stuff? All of the mining stuff goes above all this other stuff? Sure. Hold on a second. Is the research that replaces my... Okay, no, that is next. Good. That's exactly where that ought to be. We don't want to do upgrades, we just want to chill here. Just remember, pressing this button will upgrade the good war arc to the weaker war arc design, which obviously is not super beneficial for us. I can't believe how powerfully Nos is pushing back on the influence output of Pegasus. Like, Nos's influence output really exploded when we built the tower, or the what do you call it, the obelisk, and they're just never going to be able to compete with that. Of course, it doesn't matter. They may not have a good sense of the degree to which it does not matter. I've been awarded the Purple Falcon for services to the galaxy. Well, isn't that nice of them?
Our purpose is to kill.
I don't know what that means, but it seems nice of them. My only real question is whether there's a monetary reward, you know? How purple is this Falcon, you know what I'm saying? I hope so, because I have no idea. Does the purple mean money? Is that what he's trying to get across, that money is purple? It sure looks to me like we may actually have to buy a significant number of resources. I'm just like trying to eyeball the amount of Hyperium and Titanium that's going to be required for this last obelisk is actually probably going to be really high. Oh boy, I just don't care what happens on Kraz right now. There are hardly words for the degree to which I do not care what is happening on Kraz. Alright, here we go. Let's see what the final resource boost is. I think we're not even going to get attacked. It looks to me like the Cravers are just now sending the "we're coming" message, which means they're probably just now like disengaging their fleets from fighting the Lumeris on the other side of their empire. The Unfallen have rattled their sabers at us a little bit, but they haven't actually made any moves, and I think this would be a pretty late moment to start. Okay. Yep, there's another big message for everyone. So, population booster must be repurchased. Very important. This might be the last one, though. So, in order to build this thing on Maz, I somehow managed to completely miss the menu. There we go. Yep, 80 Auric Cal 6, 160 Adamantium, 250 of the others. We have a ton of money, but that's not always everything. Okay, so we cannot buy the Hyperium. We can buy 22 of the Hyperium. And then 16 per turn. Okay, so we're 2 turns out from being able to start construction, which means that we want to be at 220 of this right now. Right, so let's buy that. And then in 2 turns we will... How much was it? 160? Okay, so in 2 turns we'll be just, we'll be fine here. We'll be fine everywhere else. Yeah. Okay, 2 turns. That's not such a bad wait. Obviously, it would be better if we could get going right now, but not a lot we can do about it. And Burra Tech Seeker gets 3 useless skill points. I don't know, this and that, and I guess this gives you plus deployment limit in case somebody tried to invade the Ark on foot, which is a thing that I really don't think is likely.
Unsure of your actions, but...
Okay, the trees have given up the idea of attacking us ever again. they realize, you know what, this just isn't gonna happen. Yeah, reduce your upkeep, I guess? You have all your important stuff. We can check next turn and see if it makes sense for us to build another... Oops, that's not what I want. I want this. You know what, I'll just buy it out. That's fine. Get another War Arc, send it to Maz. We'll check next turn and see if there are enough resources on the market to start building next turn instead of waiting. We will build... Wow, there's a lot of really basic stuff that could be constructed here. I don't know, do some of that. Actually, this should definitely be in front. Yeah. Okay, and that's all of those. We don't quite have the Hyperium. I don't know why I thought I had enough Hyperium that in 2 turns we'd be able to do this, but we can probably trade some Hyperium off of somebody. Like, you know, the Lumeris traditionally have had a lot of Hyperium. Oh, we unlocked Federated Procurement Office. Hey, look at that. Doesn't matter, not even a little bit. Atlas was successfully hacked again. We'll just go ahead and embed another sleeper. And on the Pegasus hack, we are freezing their ships. That's Vision. Here we go. Scramble navigation, wound Kren Salutis. There will be no sudden and unpleasant surprises from the Cravers today. And we're just going to re-hack them in 10 turns. They're really not going to get to do that very much. Not going to get to move their ships. Okay. So we need to trade... Let's go talk to the Lumeris. That's not the button for that. There we go.
And we thought we had learned to trust each other. Speak
What on
quickly.
earth are you talking about, lady? We are the best of friends. I don't know if you've forgotten. Here's the thing. I need 35 Hyperium. You need high-level technologies? Actually, I'm not allowed to trade her any techs. Oh, because we're not at peace. You have to be at peace, or the offer for peace has to be on the table. Okay, let's talk about some, like, really high-tier techs. Want survival suits? I got these survival suits. You want some ultra tough materials? I know how you people love to fabricate things. Have you ever thought, man, I love fabrication. I just wish that I had been given a license to do it. Well, boy, oh boy, can I resolve that problem for you. You even fabricate yourself a nose if you want. I'm not saying you need one. I'm just saying, you know, you look a little weird. Wait, oh no, I did bad math. I asked her for 35 instead of 37 because I thought I had remembered that we were at 215. Well,
I also have an empire to run.
maybe
and
she'll
contracts to take
maybe
out.
she'll be willing
I
to
mean,
part with
sign.
2 Hyperium here for a low price because we're such good friends. Perhaps a trade agreement. You know how she loves trade agreements. This might work. Okay. Sorry about that. Just a minor error in the math. Okay. So we need to buy 1 Orichalcix. We need to buy 15 more titanium. That's just not even where that button is. I missed the 5 entirely. Okay. Oh, and we need 150 adamantium, right? So... okay. There it is. Nope, it's 160 adamantium. You know what the problem is with a game that has a bunch of, like, simple math and numeracy in it is that I'm dumb. Too dumb. Some might say powerfully dumb. Jesus Christ, that went from 15 turns to 5. Boros, you're doing some fine work. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? He does plus 200% resource output. So yeah, you cut it into a third. Alright, well... apparently we saw something briefly, but it's not there anymore? Well, it seems like we might be good here, then. Seems like we might have this under control. Election. Boy, like the degree to which I do not care. Here, Kren Salutis, you get to... hey, look at that, Mineral Misers Act. We're totally running it. We can cut the one that just gives people XP. We're not really getting a lot of benefit out of that law anymore. But, like, it would be very difficult for any of the AI to stop us at this point. We also unlocked the Peace and Prayer Act, which is a lot of essence, you know, that could matter in theory. I have selected a law slot. I want to pass it in this. Okay, we have to abolish first. I can't just overwrite the existing law. Alright, that's a little bit more industry. Was it enough to... no, it was not enough to cut a turn. Okay, trade is good for business, as long as your business is winning the game. Alright, I don't care about this event. There's a lot of stuff going on in my empire right now that is not directly relevant to the game. Okay, seems like everybody has lots of stuff to do. You guys head over to Maz and then play defense. Just merge up with the existing defense arc. And we're going to be able to build another defense arc really soon. We're also producing 18,000 dust per turn, like passively, not even counting all the resources and everything. And at this point, we could sell all of our strategics. What would it cost to buy 1 turn of production off of this thing? It would probably be in the neighborhood of 4 million dust. We're not going to get there. That system is very productive. That's pretty much the end of that. Quantum communications is the last tech before we get our endless tech, but I just can't see it. We'd have to be able to research that endless tech in 2 turns. We're nowhere near that. We have good science output, but we are nowhere near that. So this game we're going to win on turn 125. Honestly, feels pretty alright. Okay, photobomber got photobombed. And hey, remember our faction quest? We still have a quest to come over here and inhabit this system. It's just, you know, it feels unlikely, I'll say. Seems to me not really worth doing. I'm a little bit torn on how I think the evolution of the faction quests went. Okay, somebody already captured him. I don't care about any of this stuff. This could matter? Nope. In theory, another player could do a thing that would matter to us. So in Endless Legend, if you've never played it, the faction quests are often map spanning. They're usually considerably more difficult. I really just don't care. They're usually considerably more difficult, but finishing your faction quest opens up 2 of the victory conditions. Two of the game's 5 victory conditions are locked behind the completion of your faction quest, and that makes them feel like a much bigger and more important part of your game. There are also big rewards in the faction quest, the way there are in this game, that sometimes have a transformational effect on your empire. So they're worth it for those reasons too. Okay, I don't care about that. He's offering us a science agreement. Seems like it's a little bit late for that, Chief. So that stuff's cool too. But really, you're mostly thinking I could win the game. So this is a good win the game pressure sort of thing. And with many factions, the faction quest, depending on how some of the variables fall, can be the fastest way to win the game. But they're almost never internal victories. They almost always require you to really get out there. So we have 3 obelisks of all space-time, and for unspecified reasons, that means we win the game. I mean, to be fair, if you can get to the point where you have 3 obelisks of all space-time before anybody hits any of the other victory conditions, they will definitely make your system so powerful that you could easily go to any of the other victory conditions before anybody else could. But I do wish that there was a little bit more involved in just this ending screen where they tell you why the obelisks make you win. Let's go ahead and check out our victory cinematic before I talk a little bit more about quests. And then we get out of here for the day. Provided that it loads.
The supremacy of our faith has been revealed. For the old demons have been vanquished forever. We will rise virtual and create a new endless age where we are the gods.
Yeah, very vague. It's very vague is the thing. So yeah, in this game, the faction quest sometimes has some transformational stuff in it, some cool stuff. But even when it's transformational, it often feels like it's pretty low impact, and so you're much freer to just there's no cost, almost no cost, to just ignoring your faction quest and deciding to do whatever you want to do. And first of all, I do feel like that reduces the differentiation between the factions a little bit. Now, granted, in the Endless games, differentiation between the factions is already extremely high, right? Nobody else has anything approaching the arcs. And then there's every faction in this galaxy had very different concerns. So that's not a real problem, a very small reduction in differentiation. But I also feel like the big world-spanning faction quests that are difficult are also engaging in a way. It's fun to follow them and to try to figure out how could I possibly do this difficult thing it asked of me with a good mechanical incentive to try to find a way. So I sort of wish that they had not changed them, I guess. I like the Endless Legends style of faction quest better. Anyway, obviously, that is going to be it for us for today. A not so hard fought victory. Basically, we just bullied a lot of people and then ate them. But that's Endless Space 2 to some degree. The game's just it's fun and the systems are great. The presentation's incredible, but it's just not very hard. So that's going to be it for us for today, but not for the series. Like I said at the beginning of this game, a lot of people wanted to see United Empire. We're going to play United Empire. I have an idea for what we're going to do with them. So come back next time, tomorrow, for the beginning of that adventure. And we'll see you then.